Door handle turned. A cold draft, the kind that had nothing to do with the winter outside, seeped through the crack. Dad's nose wrinkled as he pushed the door open wider. I floated just behind his shoulder, watching his face. The morning light cut a sharp rectangle across the floor, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. It fell directly onto my body, slumped over the desk. My head was turned to the side, cheek pressed against the open notebook. My arm hung down, the wrist with its frantic, blinking red bracelet dangling uselessly. My skin in that unforgiving light was a terrible, waxy gray-green. My lips were parted, tinged with blue. Dad stood frozen in the doorway. For a long moment, he didn't move. He just stared. The smell, sweet, cloying, and unmistakable, rolled out to greet him. "Audrey," he said, his voice soft, tentative. He took one step into the room, then another. The floorboard creaked under his weight, a sound so ordinary it felt obscene. He reached out a hand, then pulled it back as if afraid. His eyes darted from my face to the notebook, to the single, trembling sentence scrawled there in a child's desperate, dying hand. "Mom, I really do love you. It hurts so much. Why won't you just believe me? Please, Mom, just believe me this one time." "Honey," he called out, his voice stronger now, threaded with a panic he couldn't name. "Honey, come here." From the kitchen, the banging of the spatula stopped. "What now?" Mom's voice was sharp with impatience. "If she's pretending to be passed out, just dump a glass of water on her. That'll snap her out of it." "Just come here," Dad repeated, his voice tight. I watched as Mom appeared in the hallway, wiping her hands on a dish towel. Mina trailed behind her, peeking around her legs. "The smell is atrocious," Mom said, pinching her nose as she approached. "I swear I'm going to make her scrub this whole room with a toothbrush." She stopped speaking when she saw Dad's face. The color had drained from it, leaving him pale and gaunt. He was staring at me, his body rigid. Mom followed his gaze, her eyes landed on my slumped form. For a second there was nothing, no recognition, just annoyance. Then her brain began to process what her eyes were seeing, the unnatural angle of the neck, the absolute stillness, the color. Her dish towel slipped from her fingers, fluttering to the floor. "Audrey," she whispered, the word was air, nothing more. She took a stumbling step forward. "Audrey, this isn't funny, get up." Silence. I said get up. Her voice rose, sharp and commanding, the voice that had always made me flinch. It echoed in the small, death-filled room. She rushed forward, then shoving past Dad. Her hand, the one that had so often held the remote, reached out and grabbed my hanging wrist. She yanked it, trying to pull me upright. My body was limp, heavy with the profound weight of death. My head lolled back, my dead eyes staring blankly at the ceiling. Mom gasped, recoiling. The touch of my skin, cold, stiff, alien, had finally transmitted the truth her eyes, and the stench had been screaming. She stared at her own hand, then at my face. Her lips moved soundlessly. "The bracelet," she stammered, her eyes locked onto the device on my wrist. It was still flashing. "Red, red, red," a relentless, pulsing crimson accusation in the morning light. It's still red," she said, her voice hollow with confusion. The machine doesn't lie. If she was really." She couldn't say the word. "It means she was lying," she finished, the statement a fragile, desperate prayer. "Even now, she's faking, she has to be." Dad finally moved. He walked to the desk, his movements slow and heavy. He didn't touch me. He looked down at the notebook. He read the words. Then, with a tenderness I had never seen from him, he reached out and closed my eyelids. "She's not faking, Alina," he said, his voice thick. "She's gone." The world seemed to tilt on its axis. Mom shook her head violently. No, that's impossible. The bracelet, it would be green. If she was truly sick, if she was in real pain, it would be green. The science is clear. It measures physiological stress markers, autonomic nervous system responses associated with deception. It doesn't make mistakes. She was quoting from the parenting manual, from the websites, from the seminars. Her faith was a fortress, and it was crumbling under the weight of my corpse. "Look at her," Dad roared, the sound startling in the quiet house. He never yelled. "For God's sake,